30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm joined with Roman, and we have some breaking news. The Texans are releasing veteran defensive end Whitney Mecilus as the youth movement continues at the position, with the team starting John Grenard and Jacob Martin. And so this news, I'm sure a lot of Texans fans have been anticipating this move since the end of last season or so. But with that huge contract, nobody thought it would be feasible. And then we ended up restructuring his contract. And so now we have the news that we are finally releasing him. And last season, he was not the Whitney Mecilus of old at all. He was pretty washed by all means. He could not chase down running backs or close out or anything. So, but this season, I thought he was playing a little bit better. I mean, he's one of our sack leaders. He has 3 sacks on our team so far. That's second right under John Grenard, who's now going to get more playing time with this new roster move. But what are your thoughts on this change?
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. Not necessarily that we cut him, but that we cut him at this point in the season. I thought if we were gonna cut him or maybe even possibly trade him, I thought it would have happened prior to week 1, probably around training camp or even before training camp. I didn't really expect us to if we were to cut him, go on into the season, maybe cut him mid-season or something like that. But yeah, I really love the move for the team as a whole. As I said, I really wasn't expecting it. It was very surprising to me. But as you were saying, it opens up room for the younger guys like Jonathan Grenard and Jacob Martin. And Jonathan Grenard's actually been very, very good this season. He's been really excelling in his starting role. I believe he started the previous 4 games. I believe it started against what was it, the Panthers? I think he started around there, and he's been a starter ever since. And during those games, I think he has 4 sacks. He has 1 forced fumble, and he has 10 solo sacks. And for the season, he's projected to get 8 sacks. And he's only started in 4 games, as I said. So if he started in the beginning, if he continues, he could probably end up with double-digit sacks. So I believe it's a very good move in terms of youth development, as you said. But yeah, it was just very, very shocking for the timing.
Yeah, and it was also by cutting Whitney Mecilus, I believe there's an $8 million cap hit. So yeah, that does hurt. And since we seem to be a team that's going to be in a phase where we're going to be we're definitely not a playoff contender. So these cap hits are going to hurt us significantly, I guess, in terms of restructuring the team, rebuilding the team from the ground up again. And so yeah, that's going to be something to look out for if that really plays into a role in any future roster changes, a significant role. I mean, 8 million seems like a lot. But yeah, and then Whitney Mecilus, believe there was news earlier, earlier rumored that Whitney Mecilus was contemplating retirement. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that or if he's going to join some other team. Hopefully not the Cardinals, because there's already too many Texans on that team. But yeah, it's just pretty yeah, this is some interesting news. And Whitney Mecilus has been a great guy off the field, of course. He's done so much for the community. So we really thank him in that regard. And in this prime seasons here, he really stepped up when JJ Watt got injured. And so Whitney Mecilus is definitely going to be someone to keep in our hearts, as a Texan, in his career wise, and really hope for the best for him.
Yeah, and especially for all of his tough years in Houston, especially that year in 2016, I think 2017, 2016, when JJ Watt went down with injury. Him and Jadeveon Clowney were the main guys, and they helped lead us to a number 1 defense. And the main reason was the pass rush. In that little playoff run that we had against the Raiders, and then we went up to Foxborough, played the New England Patriots, Whitney Mecilus was one of the main guys that was getting pressured, and one of the main guys that kind of led us to get that number 1 defense. I think people really forget how good Whitney Mecilus was. These past, I think, a little bit of 3 years is kind of, I guess, put a bad image in the memory or brain of Texans fans. They just see him as this old washed guy that kind of is on a bad contract. And yeah, I agree he's on a very bad contract for when Bill O'Brien re-signed him at the time. We probably should have been a little bit cheaper, but people forget just how good he was. But yeah, as you were saying, all the community stuff, he's a very, very good person. He's done a bunch of community stuff for Houston. And I believe he also, I'm not sure exactly what he did, but it was something with the education in Houston. I think he built some kind of school, or he was donating some money to some school earlier this week for Houston. And yeah, it just shows how good of a stand-up guy he is. And I really hope him the best. I wouldn't even mind personally if he were to join the Cardinals. I know they have a bunch of Texans, but like they look like they could really be poised to make a run. And why wouldn't you want to go do it with some former Texans teammates and DeAndre Hopkins and JJ Watt and some probably very close friends? But yeah, as we both said, a bunch of respect, a bunch of love for Whitney Merciless, and I hope he can at least play out this season before he does retire, and at least give it one more shot to go get a ring.
Yeah, and also one thing to know, like along the same lines of cutting veteran guys for the youth movement, makes you think if something similar might happen in other positions like tight end, or like I don't know, there's other places, but we don't have too much youth talent in general, but like there are some players like Brevin Jordan who we were drafted in the fifth round and he hasn't gotten any playing time. And like some other players that should get more playing time. So we'll see how Nick Cassero addresses those other positions as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on this roster move. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.